Good evening. Heavy rain and strong winds have forced hundreds of people from their homes in parts of northern England and southern Scotland as a major storm sweeps across the UK. Roads have been closed, rail services disrupted and some areas are without power. There are 44 severe flood warnings in place indicating a danger to life. The Met Office has taken the rare step of issuing its highest weather warning in Cumbria, where it's advising people not to travel unless it's essential. Our correspondent Fiona Trott is in Keswick, where police say conditions are unprecedented. Fiona.
Rita, just a few moments ago, a couple were evacuated from their home here. They were put in a dinghy and they were towed to safety. At the same time, there was this huge bang. We all turned round and we think that a tree has been blown over onto the metal bridge here in Keswick. Tonight, there's an appeal for doctors to help. There's an appeal for people to raise £1 million for the victims. And there's an appeal for volunteers to help out in the reception centres around the county, including the ones here in Keswick, where the River Greta has burst its banks. After 13 hours of rain, nothing was going to stop this river, not even the town's flood defences. The barriers are somewhere under here, and there's concern that the nearby bridge is in a dangerous state.
It's a bit scary, like, with the houses as well, like they're so high. It's never been this high before.
This is the scene in Cockermouth tonight. People are desperately trying to protect their homes. Floods destroyed their town 6 years ago. That's why they're frustrated and anxious.
Absolutely disgusting. How has it happened? What's happened to the money that they're supposed to have spent on the flood defences that don't seem to have worked?
Throughout the day, people have left their homes any way they can.
Our house was actually surrounded with water, so we had to get out through a window. So my dad and my uncle helped my grandma get out.
Back in Keswick, Julie and Roger Schoon have come to check their house. They were told to leave this afternoon. So that's your back garden, completely underwater?
Yeah. So in the house further down is probably about a metre. It's over a metre, I would say.
You say you've been through this before, but to see your home underwater like that, it must be heartbreaking.
I think when it first happens, you kind of your adrenaline keeps you going out, what have you. The worst time is actually in a month's time, when you're still trying to get it sorted out. In 3 months' time, that's when it's bad.
The river next to the couple's home has now peaked. They hope the worst is over, but the rain is set to continue here throughout the night. Fiona Trott, BBC News, Keswick.
Hello, good morning and welcome to BBC News. Well, after Storm Desmond battered the UK, there are flood warnings in large parts of Wales, northern England and Scotland this morning. Now, at the moment, there are 56 severe warnings, which means there may be danger to life. A major incident's been declared in Cumbria, which has seen the worst of the flooding so far in the towns of Kendal, Keswick, Cockermouth and Appleby. In Carlisle, waters are expected to peak in the next couple of hours, and there are major diversions there because of damage to a bridge on one of the main roads. Now, a bit further east, there are severe flood warnings on the River Tyne in Corbridge. Around 1,000 people have been evacuated from their homes in Hoyk in the Scottish borders, and about 700 more have been moved in nearby Newcastleton. So that's the picture at the moment. Let's speak to our correspondent Fiona Trott, who's in Keswick in the Lake District Forest. Fiona.
Yes, good morning to you. This is the first time we've been able to get down to the riverbank in Keswick. Yesterday this was completely covered in floodwater. You can see the damage it's left behind. You can see that it's taken away some of the foundations of the bridge there. Also, look, no rain for the moment. You can see how fast the river is flowing though, and the debris that it has left behind. Lots of branches and bits of trunk here, a window in amongst all that debris. We move to the side here. You can see on this bench a lot of silt from the flood water last night. If you peek over the top there, you can just see how fast the River Greta is still flowing underneath that bridge too. This morning though, people out and about, walking over that bridge, taking a look, taking photographs. They couldn't do that last night. It was far too dangerous. The police closed it off. But more families coming down here curious to see what Storm Desmond left behind. Angus, you're down here with your family this morning. What's it like in the cold light of day?
It's just shocking, to be honest. Just all the debris and the residue of the mud, trees, branches. It's unbelievable, really. Yeah.
Must be quite sad as well. This is your town.
Absolutely, and just again, you know, folks maybe being evacuated 2, 3, however many times, homes flooded. It's devastating.
What do you think of it when you see it like this?
Well, it's absolutely terrifying. It just comes from nowhere.
It came down really quickly, didn't it? And what do you think of the river when you see it like that?
Scary.
It is quite scary, isn't it? It's going quite quickly.
Yeah.
Now, Angus, you're the local church leader too. One of them. Yeah. Special service this morning. There's special mention for people involved in this.
We're actually based in the Rawnsley, which has been flooded, so we'll probably just gather and maybe have a cup of tea and have a chat and sort of find out how people are doing. But certainly prayers will be prayed, and some of the other churches which haven't been affected, absolutely. And sort of rallying, lots of phone calls, see what we can do to help really and get help to people. Yeah.
Angus, thank you very much for joining us here this morning and the rest of your family. And on that note, when you talk about help and people rallying around to give support, a target has been set in Cumbria to raise £1 million for people affected by the floods. And what we're hearing is that already it has raised £10,000 this morning.
Fiona, thank you very much.